All right, guys. So the body cam footage for Tyreek Hill during the vehicle stop has finally been released.
They put him in handcuffs.
Just hours before kickoff Sunday, cell phone video shows Tyreek Hill, one of the NFL's most explosive wide receivers, face down in handcuffs on the side of a road.
A lot of people have been asking my opinion on this one, and I'll be honest with you guys, what I'm about to tell you about this body cam footage that has ultimately been released regarding this NFL player, Tyreek Hill, it's probably going to shock you.
I just can't imagine there's any scenario where you would handcuff him, put him on the ground. I'm just distraught about it, and we will be looking into it.
Now, before we even go there, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, do all that YouTube-y stuff. I got to show you a couple things. Number one, the body cam footage of Tyreek Hill's detention was released, and this took place in Miami, Florida. Okay, here you have Miami-Dade Police Department just earlier today, hours ago actually, I think it was maybe about 5 or 6 hours ago, the body cam footage from the police officers was released. Now, this actually took place in Florida, the same state where Donald Trump resides. Probably within an hour of Donald Trump's, maybe 2 hours of within Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. What I'm about to share with you guys, in my opinion, could have been 100% avoided. And a lot of people are going to get mad at me. Well, you know, the police officers did what they did to a black man and they shouldn't have done it. And I get that. I totally get it. But in this case, as we go through the details, I think you're going to understand why I stand by what I'm about to tell you guys. Now, first and foremost, I will have to warn you guys that there are parts of this video that I'm not going to be allowed to share with you guys. And that's basically outside of my control. So those parts will be edited out. If you want to see the full video, I'll leave a link for you guys down below in the description down below. If you want to see that, you can watch that over in our other community where I can share the full video. But let's kind of go over this and let me know what you guys think. Let's see if you disagree or if you agree with my logic here. Okay, so right out the gate, you have, count them, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 police motorcycles. I don't like the sight of that. Me personally, if I were Tyreek Hill, an NFL player, and even if I'm not an NFL player, just a regular person, I'm first thinking to myself, why in the world are there so many police bikes, police officers behind me, and I'm just one person? Like what did I do to deserve that type of attention from the police, right? As you guys heard, the police officer pulled Tyreek Hill over because of a apparent, maybe the police officer saw that he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, which I think is kind of hard to see, given the fact that his windows are like, what, 5% tint. I can't see in those windows. Now, I don't know if the driver was driving past with his windows down and it made it obvious that he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. But I mean, at the end of the day, you have 3, maybe 4 police bikes behind me for a seatbelt violation. And I couldn't quite make out what Tyreek was asking the police officer, but it certainly sounded like he said something about, why are you banging on my window? So, and the guy just got pulled over. I mean, now what you're looking at here is a black McLaren. I don't know if this is a McLaren P1 or a McLaren 720S, or I can't tell exactly what model number this is. But I mean, I don't know if the police officers are jealous that he's driving a nice, fancy, luxury, exotic sports car. I mean, this car costs like probably, $400,000. Depending upon which model it is, it could be $400,000, maybe $1 million. And the police officers may be jealous of the driver. But it's not 100% apparent just yet. So he's asking about the police officer is asking him about his seatbelt. And instead of just kind of replying, the driver, the NFL player, Tyreek Hill, is questioning the police officer about, why are you banging on my window like that? Now, if you guys noticed, this immediately, unnecessarily, in my opinion, escalated with the driver coming at the police officer, questioning him about him banging on the window. It's like, look, he didn't break your window. Maybe he tapped on the glass, but I'll be honest with you guys, when I get pulled over, I put my window down anyway. So from the police officer's standpoint, with his windows being as dark as they are, if the officer tapped on the glass, it's like, number one, you see me standing here, you know I just pulled you over. Roll your window down, because as a police officer, he is at risk because he doesn't know what you're doing in the car with the windows as dark as they are. Now, I'm not trying to take sides here, guys, but I'm just thinking, if I was a police officer and I pulled this guy over or any car over with black windows and they don't have their windows down, my life is at risk. So I'm just looking at it. I'm trying to look at it objectively from both sides of both positions here, both the driver and the police officer.
Hey, keep your window down. Hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Give me that. Get out of the car. Give me that. Break that freaking window. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now.
Now, what you're about to watch here is the situation escalate unnecessarily, and you can blame the police officer. Let me know if you guys blame the police officer or if you blame Tyreek Hill, the driver of this vehicle. But I personally think that this needlessly, completely unnecessarily escalated to a point where it's about to go. And it's not pretty.
We're not playing this game. Get out. Get out. Get out. You set him up. Why y'all beating on my window like that?
Now, unfortunately, that part I'm not going to be able to share. You guys will have to join us over in our community. I'll leave a link for you guys down below. But I want you to pay attention to this black SUV that's about to approach. And what happens next between the driver of that SUV and the passengers and the police officers, most people would never have expected what's going to happen next.
Oh, crazy fuck. Hey, don't park there. Don't park there.
So you guys observed the black SUV getting pulling over. He didn't get pulled over. The black SUV is pulling himself over in front of the black McLaren, driven by the football player, the NFL football player here. The black SUV driver ends up pulling in front of the McLaren anyway, even though he was told multiple times. The black SUV is, it's a Bentley Culligan SUV. That vehicle is worth $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. Now, some people are looking at these people, these luxury vehicle drivers, and saying to themselves, these people feel like they're above the law. These people are likely millionaires and feel like they don't have to listen to the police, and they've gotten themselves in trouble. I have to kind of side with that logic because whether they're millionaires or not, I don't think that matters. But it definitely does seem like they're a little bit privileged in that they don't have to just, be respectful to the police officers, because it didn't seem to me like the police officers were being rude initially. Now, I do feel like 4 police cars behind 1 car, I definitely think that's a bit much. But how this managed to escalate as it has, that I think could easily have been avoided. I'm willing to bet, and I don't know for a fact, but I'm willing to bet if the driver initially just had his window down, spoke to the officer respectfully, provided him with his driver's license, he probably would have driven away already.
Tyreek, why do you believe the police put you in handcuffs?
I have no idea, for real. No idea. No idea, man. It's crazy. No idea.
But instead, you're about to see what else happens. Now I gotta ask you guys, was that necessary for that officer to jump on his back and take him down the way he did? Was that at all necessary? I mean, the guy is already in handcuffs behind his back. He's defenseless at this point. He's already essentially in custody. I think that was a little bit over the top at a minimum. But again, I do think that all of this could have been easily avoided if he was just way more cooperative. Like, this didn't have to escalate to this point at all. Watch what happens next.
When I talked to Tyreek, he was stunned. He had no idea why it escalated to that extent.
Drew Rosenhaus is Hill's agent.
Now, right now, more police officers are showing up. This is getting bad. You've got daily traffic driving by. This was actually recorded on Sunday because this is just before the Sunday NFL football game. So you have all these cars driving by. This particular SUV was apparently a friend of this NFL player. I don't know if they're both on the same NFL team, football team or what. But anyway, so he pulls over in spite of the police officer warning that black SUV not to pull over. He pulls over anyway. He pulls over anyway, right in front of the McLaren. And now one of the police officers is going over to the SUV to address them after multiple warnings not to do what they just did. Here we go.
Hey, call Drew, bro. Hey, call Drew, bro. Just call Drew. Hey.
I wish I knew who Drew was.
Listen.
Okay, so this guy right here, he's the driver of the SUV. He's already pulled over. The passenger is about to get out the SUV. The cops have already told them repeatedly, don't pull over in front of this car. They're doing it anyway. They're actually stopping traffic because they're not even fully pulled over. And I don't even think you're allowed to park here. This is actually the right lane. So this guy is clearly in the wrong, and he's about to find himself in a world of trouble based on what happens next.
Hey, listen, man, they got Tyreek. The cops over here beating on him, man. They over here beating on Tyreek, man.
Don't park there, man. Just get in the car.
Hey, Drew, you gotta come, man.
Just get in the car.
Right up the side, on the side of the,
Hey, get in the car. You're parked in the middle of the street.
I'm in the car. You gotta go before you get a ticket.
Hey, I'm in the car.
Who's the driver? This is my car. All right, move. I'll take that. You gotta move right now.
This is escalating, guys. Now we have two cops involved, and they didn't even have to be involved. He could have gotten in the car already. And honestly, the patience of the first cop that it was speaking to this to the driver here in the gray shirt, his patience, I got to give the credit to where credit is due. This cop didn't have to be as patient as he has been. He's not following direct orders, multiple orders. He's parked his vehicle in the flow of traffic. All of this, again, avoidable situations. They're not smart. They're ignoring the police. And it's like, who do you think you are to do this? I don't see that the police are in the wrong in this situation right here.
Let me have your license. You're gonna have to get through.
I'm coming.
Let me have your license. You're gonna have to. Let me have your license.
I'm leaving.
I'm not playing. Let me have your license.
Leaving. Yo, what's
your
going
license
on?
right now.
What's going on?
Your license right now. You're not gonna give me a license?
Hey,
the car.
you're not
All right, guys. So clearly this is about to escalate.
Hill's teammate Calais Campbell was also handcuffed during the pregame incident. The veteran defensive lineman says he was just trying to de-escalate the situation.
I don't want to bring it race into it, but sometimes it gets kind of iffy when you do. You feel me? So what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill? Lord knows, like, what that guy or guys would have did. You feel me?
All this was avoidable, but these gentlemen seem to think that they don't have to listen to the police, that they feel like they're in the right. Overall, I'd have to say, I think that the police initially didn't have to pull up, 4 deep to pull over one car. But it is what it is. That's not unlawful. But I do think that how these drivers handled this situation was it just really wasn't smart. It's not a good look for themselves. And, you know, I don't want to say that what happened to them after this was necessarily right, fair, appropriate, but I mean, they almost kind of brought it on themselves.
Miami-Dade police says it's investigating what happened. One of the officers involved has been placed on administrative duties.
So you guys let me know what you think. If you want to see the full video, definitely hit the link in the description down below. I post all sorts of videos on here that I don't necessarily post on my main channel. So if you want to check out the rest of this video, the uncut version, hit the link in the description down below. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys next time.